Had you made that same, like, had you started talking to God about it again this time?
Yeah. No. Okay. So yes. So
Okay.
defining moment.
Yeah.
I'm in jail and I've been in there a couple weeks.
This is the second time?
Second time. And I called my girlfriend at the time and she told me that my mom was in the ICU. She had overdosed. She was in the ICU and she was on life support and they didn't know if she was going to make it. And this wasn't the first time that happened. This is probably the third or fourth time that happened. And I was in, and I didn't know if I was getting out, and I had some charges I was facing, and so I didn't know, was I going to prison for a few years, like what was going to happen. And I broke down and I went up into my cell, and one of the inmates came and talked to me, and I told him what was going on, and he said, you know, you can say this prayer and God will be with you. He said, you know, and he told me about the sinner's prayer. And I said, I don't know nothing about that, man. That's not me. He's like, well, you can say this prayer and God will be with you. And I was like, all right, cool. So we said the prayer.
Yeah.
And he handed me a Bible. And he wrote in it, Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, right?
I remember that one. Yeah.
And then he gave me some Bible verses, like some Romans when I acted like a child, thought like a child, whatever, you know, I can't remember. But anyway, so he gave me some verses to do. That was the moment. That was the moment.
Do you know this guy anymore? Have you ever seen him before or since?
I know his name, but I haven't seen him since.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
And he was an old timer. But that
Did you know it in that moment, or like now you know it was the moment?
No, I didn't know it in that moment. I just did what I was told.
Yeah. But then you got out.
I surrendered.
You got out a few weeks later and told her no.
I told her no. I said no. And I went into the program and I stayed there for a couple months, and when I first went in, I had no desire to change. I wasn't going to change. I just wanted the consequences to stop. That makes sense. I didn't want to go to prison.
You told her no, but then you're like, I don't want to change.
Yeah.
You still had some mindset shift that needed to happen.
I'm telling you, that was God. Like, that's the only thing I can think of is he was like, hey, man, like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I had 30 days at the time. That was the most time I had since I was 12 years old.
And I laughed. So this is when you went into the 18 months. And I remember you saying, that was a bit excessive. Whatever.
I was. At the time, I thought it was excessive. You know, I'm like, man, like, couldn't give me like a 6-month program or a 90-day program. They said, we want you to go to 18 months. Like, it's a little excessive, don't you think? But the judge, so probation, because I was repeat offender. I was in and out. Like, I was in trouble all the time, on the run, you know, never doing what I was supposed to do. And so the judge he asked probation, you know, should we send him to prison or should we give him a program? They said, send me to prison. He asked the DA. The DA said, send him to prison.
Wow.
And I told the judge, I said, listen, I've been doing this since I was 12. I said, you send me to prison, I'm probably going to get worse. You were
probably right.
You send me to this program, and I think I have a chance to change my life.
But in the back of your head, you're like, but I don't really want to change.
I don't know. It was.
You were in the middle.
A part of me wanted to change, but a part of me didn't. You know, I really can't. You're the first person that's ever said that, and I've had to think about it. So like, parts of me didn't want to change because I was so used to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But something changed in me.
Yeah.
That I did change.
I was listening to, do you ever listen to Erwin McManus?
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you the podcast after. I was listening to him and Ed Milet this morning, and he's a pastor out of SoCal, and something he said just really stuck with me all day, and it's kind of like this. He said, the most spiritual thing you can do is choose.
Mm-hmm.